How to handle yourself around a narcissistic person. I'm Elizabeth Shaw. Welcome to the channel, which is all about the narcissistic personality disorder, to give you more understanding of what you might have been through within your life. There's people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle those people if you cannot go no contact, and most importantly, ways to recover from narcissistic abuse. Videos are usually released on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday. So if you do find the information on the channel useful with the situations within your own life, please do subscribe to and hit the notification bell to keep yourselves updated. If you're at a place where you don't need to be tuned into it all the time because it triggers you, don't hit the bell. Just look when you are prepared and ready to look. And after listening to these kinds of videos, always have something uplifting to do afterwards, whether that's watching a good movie, reading a good book, having a good dance around. When learning about these kinds of people, always have something to do afterwards that lifts your spirits back up, that makes you smile, that makes you laugh. So this video is about how to handle yourself around a narcissist, namely the grey rock method. Realising that a partner, a family member, a friend, a work colleague is a narcissist, or at the very least toxic, that they simply don't care for you as they lack the empathy to, that they only show they care when they want to use and exploit you, then discard you like an object which never existed when a shiny new person turns up for them, until they get bored of them and come back to hoover you. It's painful and it's devastating, and all that manipulative roller coaster they take you through, raising you so high, releasing that dopamine, then sinking you, causing that much stress, your cortisol levels rise, creating that trauma bond. And that, along with the fear of all their intimidation and the crumbs of hope that they feed us, we stay in the hope of things will change, only they never do. We just cycle around the same experiences with them. We stay for fear of reactions if we stand up for ourselves, often unwittingly fawning to the abuser's demands. When we have the courage to walk away, we can then have those feelings of guilt to overcome. No contact is always the best approach, and with some it has to be the only approach. However, this isn't always possible, so the next best thing is grey rock. The grey rock method is often used when you have children with a toxic or a narcissistic person, or a work colleague, or one family member, and if you were to go no contact, it would mean cutting off other family members who are not toxic. They just cannot see through the narcissistic family members' manipulative lies yet. We have to take back control of our minds, our thoughts and our feelings, leaving what does not bring us peace be. These things will always enter our minds. We just have to find the ways that work for us to shift them, creating those coping strategies that work for us. Telling ourselves good, positive things, looking for the things to be grateful for within our own lives, looking for those opportunities, letting go of as much of that past as we possibly can. It's not easy to start after being mentally abused by a narcissist. However, it's possible, especially when we take it one step at a time. When we rush things, we don't always make it through the right way. As painful as it can be, facing the pain will at some point release that pain. If you have children with them, you can create, you can build the happy home that you are dreaming of for you and your children. With many narcissists, it does have to be limited to no contact. However, this isn't always possible. If the children do see them, there is ways to manage your feelings and manage the children's feelings and manage the time that you do have to see the narcissistic person. it's very difficult, but we have to ignore what happens when the children are with the ex. Unless it becomes a safeguarding measure, then we have to take action. But as a whole, we have to ignore the things. It's trying to put it across the right way. Safeguarding issues we cannot ignore. Things like washing a white top with red and returning it like that. Things like that we have to ignore and let them parent their way. So we have to let the parent their way. Most of the things they are doing to try and provoke reactions from us. As I said, some are far too dangerous, so it has to be no contact. So make sure you stick to your own boundaries, your rules, and parent with your techniques at your home. Positively talk to your children so they can gain that positive mindset too. And it might seem like a common sense thing to do, but when we've been programmed for so long to think and feel certain ways, it takes time and practice to undo that. So it then takes time and practice to consciously recognise how we talk to ourselves and how we talk to ourselves around our children. Tell the children that they can achieve the things that they want to achieve for them, for that growth mindset, validating their feelings so they don't feel as misunderstood as a narcissist will have them believe themselves to be. To let them know that their feelings do matter, that their opinions do count, that their hopes and dreams they can achieve for themselves. We cannot control how our ex talks to the children. We can control how we talk to them and how we treat them and how we explain things to them. One happy parent will see the children happy. Never respond to an ex if they've done something to or with the children that you don't like. They will just do more of it because they know it gets a reaction from you. Instead, concentrate on yourself and your children. A narcissist is often only ever after the attention. How they get that attention, they don't seem to care. While everything is going their way, all seems all right, although it's never all right as we slowly lose who we are, as do children around them. And as soon as we break free from the trance, drama and chaos breaks loose. As we fight for our freedom and they fight for control. A narcissist thrives off drama and conflict, while we often dread seeing them and whatever game they are going to play next. So grey rock, as the saying goes, you cannot get blood from a stone. A narcissist cannot get reactions from you if you don't respond. So you need to become the rock for yourself towards them so they get nothing from you, and you provide the narcissist with no reactions, no responses. Don't tell them. The whole idea behind grey rock is the narcissistic person will get bored and lose interest in you, thus leaving you alone. If they know you're doing it, they know they can manipulate you and they'll do their utmost to get you to break grey rock. It is a learning curve and it takes practice. So don't worry if sometimes you wobble, like learning to balance when learning to walk or learning to ride a bike. Sometimes we stumble and sometimes we fall, but we have to get back up and go again. You're learning to balance your emotions around someone who knows all your weaknesses and all your strengths, and they will use each and every one against you to gain those reactions from you and do their utmost to get your reactions off balance, to get your emotions off balance every time they see you. So give them nothing. Keep any conversations to a minimum and to the point. If you don't have to talk to them, don't. Just say hello when they pick up the children or when you walk into the office. just because that's how we greet people, nothing more. If you have children, have the children ready before you open the door so that it can be as quick and as smooth as possible with little conversation, avoiding interacting with them as much as possible, but don't make it a big deal, as this will give the narcissist ammunition. If you're about to attend a family gathering, try to avoid the narcissist and focus on those in the family you enjoy spending time with, especially before the event. So you're looking forward to how well it can go. When the narcissist pops into your mind, you can begin to feel anxious. Remove them by learning to shift your focus on to those you are looking forward to seeing. Start to imagine the event in a positive way in which you want it to go, so you're not ruining your present thinking negatively of the future events that haven't even happened yet. Your imagination, our imagination, is a powerful thing, and we get to control it. We have to practice, as our minds seem to enjoy focusing in on the pain, believing it will prepare us and protect us. However, at times, this can just cause us more pain in the present. By shifting our focus to the things that bring us joy, will bring us happiness, especially with future events that haven't even happened yet. We have to focus on the outcome we want. In the workplace, again, try to avoid them. Try to have things prepared as much as possible beforehand. So if you've got projects, things like that, you can quickly and smoothly pass it over without too much conversation. When you do have to talk to them, stick to the point. Always respond in a business-like manner, need-to-know basis, whether that's a boss, a co-worker, a friend, a family member, an ex-partner. Always try and respond in a business-like manner. If they start to ask more questions, give them short, to the point, uninspiring answers that they cannot possibly lead to a further conversation with. Things like no, yes, or even an okay. Do not allow yourself to get drawn in. A simple yes and no answer will do whenever possible, but sometimes the question might mean you need to commit to an answer. And if you're not ready to commit, just respond with, I'll have to think about that. Maybe, perhaps, or we'll see. Don't give them anything more. Don't give them anything less. Don't give them anything they can go on to pull you in. Detach yourself. Avoid eye contact. If at all possible, look just over their shoulder or just over their ear. Don't let them suck you in by using your emotions against you. They then have control over your emotions, and they have control over you and control over your reactions. You have to become emotionally unpredictable to those who know how to use your feelings against you. Eye contact can help them with their games, as you have empathy and care for others. They are manipulative and they can pull you in, so avoid eye contact. They might try pulling you in at first by playing nice, asking how you are or what you've been doing to strike up that conversation. When that doesn't work, they might feed you a sob story so that you feel sorry for them. When this doesn't work, they might pull on your biggest weaknesses, any mistakes you've made, anything you don't like people knowing about you, your insecurities, and they might try chipping away at these to get those reactions from you. Try to focus on the good things within your life when they are doing this, things that make you happy. Let their words flow right over you and not into you. The observe, don't absorb. Observe their manipulative games. See that they are what they are trying to do. Are they playing the victim, using triangulation, trying to make you feel insecure, trying to intimidate you, etc.? Are they trying to provoke you? Are they trying to project onto you? Are they trying to blame shift? Recognize it and understand that it is nothing to do with you. That is all on them. Like poison, if we recognize it for the poison that it is and leave it be, all will be okay. If we pick it up and drink it, it will slowly infect us. So observe their toxic behaviour, don't absorb. Either recognise it and tell yourself the game that they are playing. Don't tell them directly, tell yourself within your own mind. Or think of something nice to distract yourself. Something that you can do nice for yourself as soon as you're away from their negative, toxic vibes. Even just stood there thinking, I'm so glad I'm away from you. Life is so much better without you now. Just within your own mind, think of things so that you're not observing their toxic words. Do not chat about your personal life with them, not even the smallest detail, as they will twist this around and use this against you. Remain quiet about your life without them. I know sometimes when we hit successes and people do revenge, that's a whole other video which I'll link into the description. Revenge and karma, it's a normal emotion. There's a lot to that, so I'll link the other video in. But no, don't start telling them what you're doing, because that just pulls you back into their games. Make it as boring as you can. If they ask what you're doing, things like the washing, the garden, hoovering, so long as they have no interest in the things, then they find them boring. Use the things that they find boring and discuss those. Try not to respond at all, but if you do need to respond, use the things that they find boring. Never tell them how well you are doing. Do not ask them questions, even if it seems like harmless small talk. They will just reel you into their games. Don't allow them to take you off topic. Recognise the games they are playing. Try to stick to facts only wherever possible. Only short statements about children that they need to know, as this will make it hard for them to turn the statement into a conversation. Avoid any mention of the past at all costs. If they bring it up, just say, that's in the past. I'm not really interested in talking about that anymore. If they try to blame you for everything in the past or now, just say okay. Even if it was not you, a simple okay will do. They are trying anything they can to get a conversation from you, to get a reaction from you. Watch when they try and twist things into an argument. Remember, you don't have to take part in every argument you're invited to. You don't have to prove them wrong. Sometimes when they say 2 + 2 is 10, you just have to leave them to it. Just let them be wrong. Don't explain anything. You don't have to prove yourself right to them. Retreat, rethink, and only respond if you need to do so. If you feel like you need to say something at the moment, things like, I'm sorry you feel that way, which I know they use against us, but they're doing it to get us to fall into their demands. We do it so that we let them know, yeah, we understand you have feelings, but they are for you. The difference is, when they say to us, I'm sorry you feel that way, they've usually done something to make us feel that way. When we're saying to them, I'm sorry you feel that way, they're usually trying to use our emotions against us to get their needs met. So things like that, or that's how you think, which is great. However, it's not how I think. Remind yourself they are not looking for compromise. They don't understand it, nor do they know how you or your children genuinely feel. They're not interested. They lack the empathy to care in how you genuinely feel. The more you give them, the more they can use things against you. Limit contact around them wherever possible. Keep contact to the absolute minimum. Avoid being alone with them at all costs. Try to keep as much communication as possible in writing, text, email, messenger, and keep it safe somewhere just in case you need it in the future. There's usually more than one side to a story, and then there are those screenshots. Watch your responses in those. They might very well be trying to provoke you, but do your best not to react in your responses. That's all they want, your reactions, to make themselves feel better. Again, retreat, rethink, and only respond if you need to do so. Keep your boundaries, keep your standards, stick with your no. Grey rock method is not always easy, but it is often very effective. You might want to scream and shout at them at times, especially in the beginning when it's all new and you're learning how to handle yourself around them and how to disarm their toxic words, and they just seem to keep coming back for more. Stay quiet when you're around them. Use the above techniques when you're around them. Tell yourself good, positive thoughts. And when you get home, to begin with, when you are then away, safely away, you are allowed to scream it out, cry it out, punch a cushion, do whatever it takes to get those negative emotions out. You are allowed to release them. And then tell yourself some good things about your life, even if that's dreams, your dreams that you can create for you, for your future. Start dreaming about the good stuff. Start dreaming about the things you can achieve, the things you want. Start looking into the things you want. Once you've released those toxic emotions that they've put within you, those negative emotions, find the positive ones, find something that makes you laugh, find something that picks you up. It's learning the strategies. We have down moments, we have down days, we have people that bring us down to our knees, and it's finding the ways to bring ourselves back up as quickly as we possibly can to shift it, finding those coping strategies. And we are all individuals. There is no wrong way or right way to live your life. It's all about finding the way that works for you. I shall add in the description where you can find me on social media for more information on overcoming narcissistic abuse. I shall add in the links, the online courses that are available, the description. I shall also add in the description the links to BetterHelp and the videos, the one on Level Up, because that's another technique that works with some narcissistic people. No contact, because with many it has to be no contact. A video to explain more on boundaries, because that really helps with how to handle being around narcissistic people. And a video on invalidation, because that explains more how they invalidate us, how they chip away at us and leave us feeling how we do, and it hints and tips on how we can turn that around to feel how we want to feel for us. If anyone has any advice on how methods they've used that's helped around narcissistic people or help them recover, please do add it into the comments, because this is all about building a community up to help each other out. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.